Hi, I'm Dr. Greg Ellis. I do live in a strange world. This is a book on auriculotherapy. Your whole body is represented in your ear. You can see that on this one video. You see the hand? Well, I can't point very well while I'm holding this, but you can see the hand, and you can see the head down at the bottom. You can see the spine and the legs. Now, auriculotherapy is very interesting stuff. I've known about it for years, but I decided to start doing it in 2006. And recently, one of the companies that I work with just came out with a tremendous software program that shows all the points on the ear, and you can pick through 200 different conditions. Click the button, and the ear comes up with the points that you have to stimulate, and you use a electronic probe. This is it. And you put this probe on the ear and you find the active point. So this thing will make a little noise. And then when you find the active point, you put a little electrical stim in there. This is really powerful stuff. Now, I live in this world of nutrition. I just did a blog on nutrition, on what people should eat. I spent the bulk of my life doing nutrition and diet work. Got involved in the energy medicine stuff early on at the end of college, and then didn't pursue that aggressively until about 1986, and then really got involved in that. And I really learned about the power of energy medicine. It's just extraordinary. Most of the people who are coming to my website, I'm sure, don't know anything about it. The conversation is often about diet, what we should eat, exercise, and not much is known about this because not many people know about it. Our medical community doesn't know about it. They don't do it. They don't work in it. And as a result, very few people practice it. I do. I built a whole clinical nutrition practice based on energy medicine. And in that practice, I hardly ever do anything related to diet. Don't even bother with it because the power of what I'm doing with homeopathy and things like acupuncture is just mind-numbing. It was difficult when I started it, the ear work, in 2006 because the software wasn't available at that time. So I had to pour through charts and books trying to find the points I needed to work on to solve people's health problems. So to give you an example, about 3 weeks ago I was working with a young Amish girl who walked in and sat down and said, "Just fix me." I normally don't fix people on the spot. For example, if you go to a chiropractor and your neck's out, and you adjust your back and your neck, he'll fix you on the spot. You'll feel better. I normally don't do that because I'm not a chiropractor and I just generally can't do hands-on work. So I said, okay. So I did what I normally do. I took some of my acupuncture readings by another method I use and looked at some of the other things I needed to do relative to the products I was going to give her, the homeopathic protocol. And then I started working on her ear. So I brought up the protocol for low back pain. Now, these protocols in the ear, many of the points that are listed there are what we call master points. They'll have an effect on the whole body. So some of those points were in the low back protocol. Well, besides the low back pain, she was blowing her nose and she was coughing and then her head was all congested. And I just started to do the points, found the active points and treated them. The whole process took me 5 to 7 minutes. When I was done, I asked her how her low back pain was. She said, "It's gone." Now, this ear therapy is fantastic for pain. It's one of its most powerful features, and very often in the very first treatment, you can get rid of the person's pain. So she was good there. So she went and sat in another chair while I was working on her daughter, and I noticed that she stopped blowing her nose and she stopped coughing. I turned to her and I said, where's your cough? Where's your nose blowing?" She said, "It all went away and my head completely cleared up." So within a matter of 5 minutes of treating her ear, all her symptoms went away. Now, I've learned in the last several weeks of getting more involved with this that many times you can solve a person's problem with the very first treatment. And you can solve most of the problems in upwards of 5 or 6 treatments. If you haven't fixed it then, it's likely not going to be fixed by that therapy. So that's about all it takes. It doesn't take 30 times or 40 times, but it's got great, great power. Now, the Chinese believe this is related to the qi, which is the flow of energy through the acupuncture meridians. The French take a more Western view, saying that these points are connected to the nervous system, and that then affects the way the body responds to the therapy. And this is a difference philosophically between some of the people who are still caught up in Western medicine ideas and Chinese who are much more involved in the Eastern viewpoint. And I'm an energy medicine guy. It's just, the power of this thing is fantastic. So I hope I can get more people involved and more people interested in knowing more about this and how it works. I have a protocol that we're putting up on the site right now to do drainage or detoxification, and you can read all about that, and you can read about the potential for health problems created by the pollutants in the environment. And they are damaging the physical body, and the people who talk about that don't understand that they're also damaging your energy body, because they don't know anything about your energy body. And understanding the idea that we have an energy body and we have an energy field is conceptually very, very important, and it's something that you should learn more about. And I'm going to try and teach that on the site, just to give you a much broader overview and get away from this monomaniacal focus that diet is where everything's at. It goes beyond that. And the energy medicine is much more powerful than just doing the diet stuff. You got to do the diet stuff, but you can add this to the mix. It's a very good way to go. So that's what I'm working on, and they're the kind of things I do every day, working in that area. Okay, I'm Dr. Greg Ellis.